Perkins. She's from the Y. She's going to be doing our Lunch and Learn today. She does have a handout to distribute. She doesn't have enough for everybody. So she's going to keep one. If anybody doesn't get one and wants one after the Lunch and Learn, just see me. I'll have a master copy.
Okay, I only have 12 because I didn't expect such a large crowd. My past experience at other places of employment, this hasn't been this kind of turnout, so good for you. Well, I know, there's some incentive here, I get that. But, so I'll be flattered, I'll pretend. So when we're talking to Gina, we decided that you'd start the process or the program with Lunch and Learns with a discussion of stretching. And the thing about stretching is that it's something we do more than we talk about, because there's only so much you can talk about in stretching unless we want to get into the physiological aspects, which I don't think anybody cares to hear about. But when you look at your job, how many of you sit all day, real sedentary? How many of you stand all day? So maybe not a lot of opportunity to walk around. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a little bit about stretching, and then we're actually going to have participation. If you choose, we'll be doing exercises or stretches for sitting as well as for standing. And so you can pick and choose. The thing about stretching is the body only moves so many ways, and that's the way you stretch. Kind of like you watch animals, cats, dogs, how they move. That's kind of the natural way the body moves, and that's what we use. There's a saying, if you rest, you rust. And physiologically, you're mature in your mid-20s, which is not always good news for most of us. And then things start downhill. That doesn't mean, though, that you can't keep the mobility you had and increase it. So that's why we continue to move and stretch. Sort of like move it or lose it. And you don't have to raise your hands, but a lot of folks are already mature beyond the age of 25, dealing with arthritis, and some of the other, sort of physical, I won't say disabilities, but restrictions that you get because of work. If you're sitting at a computer all day, you already know what happens to your hands, your arms, your chest, your neck. And if you're standing all day, some of you probably have low back issues, like 80% of the adult population in the United States, and which means that 80% in the room probably have some sort of issue with backs, knees, or hips. So the poor habits that we get from work, lifestyle, impact our posture over time and the ability to move. So when we talk about flexibility, we're really talking about the range of motion of the joints, and that's what we want to keep mobile, are the joints. Some of the restrictions are breathing, digestion. People who end up slouched like this, turned in like this, everything gets crunched up. So we want to try and keep the body long, good posture. The thing also about stretching, the benefits in addition to just moving, is just the sense of well-being. It's more relaxing, or you feel more relaxed when you're done, mentally and physically. You can incorporate meditation in that, but when you're at work, probably, unless you can get to some sort of zen, that's not going to happen. But breathing is really an important part of flexibility and range of motion. You never want to stretch to tension. It's just a little bit of a pull, I guess you could say, but never any pain. If you get to that point, you've pushed yourself too far, and you'll feel the body just contract, and then we end up with muscle strains. So that's not a good thing. So we'll be breathing into the exercises. The stretches should be slow. In the old days, we used to do a lot of bouncing when we stretched, and you don't do that anymore. There again, you're looking at injury. The jury's still out about whether stretching actually reduces injury from exercise. You hear a lot of people who run a lot say, well, if I stretch first, I'll reduce, won't have as much lactic acid, or reduce the risk of injury, and that, there's still some confusion about that. But as far as just feeling better, being able to move more, being able to do that when you're on the job, taking breaks, incorporating into your work is really beneficial. The handout that I passed around, there are two of them. One's from a program I did years ago at the hospital, and so some of the stretches are actually done on the ground. That's something you can look at for another time. But what we're going to do today are exercises that you can do at work. Are you game? All right. So I'm going to also sit. You may have to spread out because we're going to actually stand up. And you can participate or not, but I think it's important, especially for the folks who aren't here, to see how to do the stretches. And I think you'll then find you may come up with your own, just because it feels good. Okay? Good to go? Somebody say yes. All right. Okay. You can do these at home, in any time you're sitting down. I don't know if you can all see me. I'm kind of low myself. So all I want you to do is put one foot out, slide to the edge of your seat. If you can, you may have to put your chairs back, and just lean forward. Okay, so where'd you feel it? Back, no, bend your knees slightly. Don't lock out your knee. Feel the back of your leg. So all I've done is you're sitting down, so you're going to extend one leg out in the chair, and just lean forward a little bit. You feel it in the back of your leg, and then sit up. Feel any different? Yeah, come on, do it again, same leg. Maybe a little further this time, and then up. And do it one more time. On this time, probably go a little bit further forward. How does one leg feel compared to the other? You can tell. Okay, now you have to do the other leg or you'll walk out crooked. So the other leg forward, just put your weight on your heel and sit down. Lean forward. Not a lot, because you don't want to come into these stretches really hard. But you can do this. I'm standing up. So you can do it standing up and then release it. Go back to it again. If you want to stand up and try some of these, this will help the folks who are sitting. You can stand up behind your chairs at work or at your desk. One more time. Down. Okay. Now, take your arms behind the chair or behind your back. You can stand up if you want. Again, this can be done sitting or standing. You might have to stand up. Can you get your hands together? And then just lift your arms a little bit. And lower them. We're going to do it 3 times. Yeah, but you can't lean forward. Lift up. Yeah. And down. So try not to bend. You're going to miss part of the stretch. You stay up tall, roll your shoulders back, and lift. So you got your back, your front of your shoulders and your chest, and then just roll your shoulders. This you can do. So really try and get the shoulders rolling and not too shrug. And the other way. And relax. So you should even be feeling something in here. By the time we're done, your body will be humming. How's that? All right, both arms just reach straight up. Higher. I don't do that song. Hands together. Okay. All right, come on up. Now lean to one side. Yeah. Nice. And to the other side. Reach, and relax. But you know what? If you're standing around, you just stand up. I mean, it's just natural. You just have to think to do it with me. Okay? Hands in front. Now you can reach this way, or you can turn your hands over. A lot of that's going to do, you have to do with your fingers and your hands. Think about your shoulder blades and open them as much as you can. What do we get? How's that feel? Yeah, oh, you all look different. That's it. We'll get there next. All right, so with your shoulders down, just turn your head and look to one side. When you do that, keep your shoulders still. You're just going to hold it. I'm watching. Yeah. Look at the person next to you. Then come back to the center and go to the other side. So just turn your head. Come back to center, and now chin to chest. Just drop your head, but you don't want to fold in half. Just lower your head. You feel the stretch in the back of your neck. And up. I mean, these are natural movements. And the ear to the shoulder. Careful. Put one finger on top of your head. This is for real. Did you feel the stretch increase?
Spin around.
Crazy.
Simon didn't say.
To center and over to the other side. Feel it down the side and just put your finger on the head. Do you notice a difference? It's just something more here. All right, now you're going to turn to the side and look down at your hip. So we've shifted the stretch. And then come up and do the same thing on the other side. You should be feeling the stretch down the back side of your neck. Because the only thing I would say right now is those of you who are slumped in your seat, sit up. Yeah, come on. You can grow an inch or two just by sitting up straight in your spine. Yeah, much better. Okay, we're going to go to sit. Now I can do it standing, but I want you to lift one foot off the floor and just circle your ankle. So some of this isn't ecstatic holding, you're actually moving. Try not to move your knee, but your ankle. So you're making circles with your foot. And the other way. The benefit of doing these isn't just so your ankle feels good, but as you get older, one of the reasons people fall is the ankle joint is so tight that when they step, it just rolls over. They have no ability to stop themselves. Did you go both directions? Did I forget that part? Okay. Other foot. Notice the difference? You may find that one side of your body is tighter than the other, just because it looks on one side dominant over most of us. Reverse direction. They go the other way. We do both these at the same time. Good. Okay. This is maybe a little awkward for some of you for a couple of reasons. I want you to sit and then turn sideways. Open the feet nice and wide. Can you do it? Put one leg way in front of the other. Yeah. Be nice to your friend.
Sorry.
Or not too nice. You should feel that in the inside of your leg and then turn it go the other way. Okay, now we're going to use the chair even more. If you sit, keep your pelvis, your legs still, and turn and look behind you. Go ahead and wrap yourself right around the chair. Be careful. If you shouldn't turn because you have a back problem, don't. Turn all the way around, look behind you. And then go the other way. Go to the side. And then sit up straight and just hang over one side of the chair. Your whole body.
Yeah, right.
And go the other side. Yeah. You can do this with the heels down or lift your feet off the floor. I just want you to point your feet and then pull the toes up. So you're just bending the foot. You can do one foot or both feet at the same time. You're doing this. Again, working the ankle, but you can feel it up the shin as you pull the toes towards you and in your calf. One way and then the other. So I said they can be done sitting or they can be done standing, but mostly you want to have no tension in the body and be relaxed when you're doing these things. All right, let's stand up. If you want, if you don't, you're going to miss out. You can move to the side, behind you. Now we're going to do some of the same ones, but because you're all the way up now, your posture tall, you're going to take one hand with the other and reach and lean over. Feel good? Don't bounce it, just hold it and really try and reach with that hand to top on. And over to the other side. Yeah. The other way, yeah, the other way, your other right. And then straight up. And better? You feel better already. I can go, no, go anywhere, we're not done, we're not done. Okay, hands on the table or the back of the chair, and you're just going to step back with one foot. So you're stepping back. Yeah. Stretch your calf. Keep your heel down if you can and just sort of lean forward slightly. That front knee needs to be bent. This. Don't hurt yourself. Now lift your back knee just a little bit. Lift your heel off the floor. Lift the back heel off the floor. The back heel. On the back. And continue to press back into it. Now bend both knees and lean back. Yeah. Twister. You're going to turn the other way and press the heel back on the back leg again. Oh, come on. You're doing such a good job. You're going to limp because you didn't do both up. Those of you who wear high heels, these kinds of stretches. I was trying to look this way, but if the shoe fits, bend the back knee again. You're going to feel the stretch go right down the back of your heel. I hope. All right. You can keep the hands on the back of the chair or the table. And you just press your tail all the way back. Push yourself back. Don't pull on the table, the chair will go right over you. As I said, I wasn't expecting such a crowd, so you know, be nice to Can you feel it? Now bend one knee. Bend one knee a lot. Straighten out the other leg. And then change legs. Can you feel it more into the back of the leg?
There's the reason why I sat in the back.
But we're going to roll forward again, and this time round your back as much as you can. So here's a cue. Pull your belly button up under your rib cage. Yeah. Find it, pull it up on your rib cage, and look down between your legs. Can you feel it in your low back? That's where you want to sit it. Feel it in your upper back. Now let go with your arms and reach for the floor at the same time. Please. Be okay? Don't fall over. And come back up. Better? Yes. Hold on to something to keep it behind you. If you have had a knee replacement or if you need problems, don't do this. Stand up tall and try and get your knee to touch the floor. Yeah, imagine that you're touching the floor. It's one of those, you know, imagery things. And then go to the other leg. You gotta hold it the same amount of time. It gets complicated. Cross one leg over the other. I know, you kind of were locked in here. Now sit. Just sit a little bit. Change legs, cross the other leg over, and sort of sit down. You'll see a lot of these stretches are right in one of these handouts, and you can't do all of them, obviously. They come back up.
That's great.
So we're gonna go back to the seat. How do your legs feel? How do you feel? A little better? Come on.
Like a blood flow.
There you go. That's it. Okay, put your hands behind the chair. Right behind the chair. And lift your collarbones to the ceiling. I gotta be careful here. Imagine you're lifting your collarbones right to the ceiling. And the arms come straight out. And rotate the arm. Yeah. Arms straight. Rotate them so the thumbs up.
Hope your hands are clean.
And now go the other way. Keep reaching 3 fingers. And release. One hand behind your back. That's right. Tell yourself you did a good job. Not yet. Okay, walk your fingers down the back as much as you can. Your own back. Now reach around and see if you can touch your fingers with the other hand. Now just take the other hand, put it behind your back, walk your fingers down. Go down as far as you can. Surprise! Try and touch your fingers. One side. Both hands together. And lift your elbows to ceiling-ish.
One side is stretchy, the other.
And press your hands together at the same time. Concentration. It's good. And how do you feel now? Better? All right. Just do as I say now. All right, come to the edge of your seat again and get your feet as wide apart as you can. Feet. Have to be safe here. And put your elbows, if you can, I don't know how you're going to do this for those of you who have really no space there, put your elbows on your thighs. Okay? And now press your knees away. Yeah, press your knees open up as much as you can. Take your hands and slide them down between your legs. Try and touch the floor.
Your legs.
Come on, Billy. Come on, Billy.
Yeah, this is about kind hands and keeping them to yourself. All right, you can sit back in the chair if you want. I mean, pick up one leg and stretch your leg out as much as you can. Bring your knee up to your chest and hold it in. And back out. Stretch the other leg out. Thank you for doing this. I'm going to feel better after too. Bring your knee into your chest and just hold it there. Remember, you just hold it. You don't crank it in as hard as you can. Now take that foot and cross it over the other leg. And lean forward. So one leg's crossed over the other and we're just leaning forward. And then come up and change legs. Level leg crosses over. And lean forward. It shouldn't hurt. You want to make sure you don't hold your breath for any of these. Not how you feel. Better? Okay. Did anyone think of a different one? Just use your imagination.
I want to go back to work.
You can't wait, right? You're so energized now. turn your wrist. Those of you who do a lot of work with your hands. Oh, it's pretty. And reverse. Yep. Open and close your fists as wide as you can. This can be done. You don't have to take a 10-minute break to do this, and then just wiggle your fingers, kind of. No tickling. Better. Roll the shoulders again. And reverse. We're going to finish. Well, the exercise is stand up. Who's the wise guy? Everybody stand up, please. Or you don't have to, because this is the best one. I want you to do big hip circles. Big hip circles. There you go, Skip. You got it. You have to go the other way. You got to finish. Go the other way. So, does anyone feel any different physically? But incorporating these, whether you're standing, you can just come up onto your toes, step back and stretch one leg and then the other. Those of you who are seated, you can do the same things or variations of it while sitting in a chair. You should feel better. Oh, yes? Anyone have any questions? Yes, Charlie. Of course.
You said when you're stretching your muscles, you should never stretch to the point that it hurts. What about if you've got a muscle that you pulled or whatever, like about a week ago, I woke up with a sore neck, and I have been stretching it, trying to stretch muscles, but it hurts almost immediately when you start stretching it. Is that okay?
You only go to the point where you start to feel that.
No, don't stretch it after. No.
Well, what I would do is stretch and then release. And then stretch again like we did before with the legs.
Yes.
Because if you push it and lengthen it too much, then you will probably make it worse. I can't say that you would, but you only take it to that point, just slight tension and not pain.
You'd have to go far for that.
Any other questions?